Hello everyone! So today's video is going to be a bulk cook with me. I'm going to be sharing with you guys what I typically eat and feed my family for the week, especially now that we're in lockdown and it's very easy to just order takeout, and I've made a conscious decision to bulk cook meals, put them in the fridge, freezer and have them ready at hand since we're having to homeschool at the moment, so this comes in very handy. My tip or hack is to get your onions, your garlic, everything sorted and out of the way first. So I have my garlic and my onions here. I will be putting all my onions. I think I must have peeled like 6 or 7, and this will be enough for about 4 dishes or 5 dishes. I'm going to be blitzing that. I'm not going to make it super smooth, just really tiny pieces. If I was to do this by hand, I'll be sobbing. I would literally have tears rolling down my eyes. I have tried every trick in the book, but it just doesn't work. So now I'm going to be grating my ginger and garlic, and I've done that. I've just separated it into the 4 meals I'm going to be using it in, and I'm going to dice up my carrot. The first meal that we are going to be making is a lamb and veggie stew type of thing, which you can eat with rice, nice baguette. Delicious that way too. You're gonna need your instant pot. I love this instant pot, honestly, cooks everything so quickly. I've just added a tiny bit of oil, added in some of the onions, not a lot, because like I said, I'm going to be using the other onions for other dishes. I washed my lamb, and I always like to use lamb shoulders. I took off as much fat as possible, washed it, and now I'm going to sear it. And then I'm going to add in my carrots and my garlic. I like to add the carrots before the potatoes because they take a little bit longer to cook. And then I'm going to add in my spices. I'm going to start with black pepper and then a bit of this mild chili powder. It's not very hot at all. Smoked paprika, and as you can see, I eyeball everything. I don't have measurements for you, unfortunately. I add in some parsley, some thyme, just a little bit of that, not too much. Add a little bit of salt because I have tasted it at this point, it wasn't enough salt. I've added in a bit of dark soy sauce and mix it all up together. I'll give it a taste again. If it needs anything, add it. If it doesn't, then don't. But I like to taste as I go along, so I'm mixing everything together. Get 1 chicken stock cube, add some hot boiling water, leave that to do its thing, and in here I'm adding some tomato paste. Then I add in my chicken stock. You can add water, but it's more flavorful if you add some type of stock. You can use vegetable, lamb. And I'm adding in my chopped potatoes because the carrots are now fully cooked. And this is it. This is how easy this dish is, especially when you use an instant pot. I'm just closing it, sealing it, and then I put it on pressure cook. It cooked within 15 minutes. Now I'm adding in my frozen peas. I like to add the frozen peas, just cover it up and the heat cooks the peas. I don't like the peas all mushy. And here is Liyana showing me her baby. And this is the second dish we're going to be making. It's just a nice simple lamb curry. You're going to need a bunch of whole spices. I have some cumin seeds, cardamom pods, cinnamon, and a few other stuff there. Using up some of the onions that I've blitzed up earlier. I'm going to add that in once the spices have cooked a little bit. So you want to let the spices cook a tiny bit before you add in the onions. Once you add in the onions, add a bit of salt, and I'm adding in my lamb once again. I'm using the exact same lamb that I've used to do the stew. I've washed it, cut it up to the size that I like, except this one has bones. The other one I've made sure that it didn't have any bones. And then I'm going to mix it all up together, let it pick up some colour, add my garlic. I like a lot of garlic, and I like the fresh garlic, not the frozen stuff. And I'm adding in some spices, as you can see, turmeric, cumin, you guys see, I don't need to tell you. And again, no measurements, just add in however much you need, and then later on if you feel like you need a bit of extra turmeric, add that. And then I'm going to add in my salt substitute, which is this Veggie. It's like a chicken stock type of thing and it's delicious. I've covered it up, let it cook for like 15-20 minutes just till it builds up some water, so I know how much water to add in later. And then I add in some chopped tomatoes. At this point I've added in some boiling kettle water, mix it all up. And I will now cover it up for it to cook for a further 40 to 50 minutes until the meat is tender, just like that. As you can see, it breaks up really easily. So once the meat is fully cooked, I add it in my potatoes because I don't want my potatoes to be cooked and the meat to be really hard. I'll add in some more water. Again, I just add a tiny bit at a time. I don't want my curry to be super watery. This is exactly how I like it. Now we are going to be making this delicious grilled peri-peri chicken, my take on it. I washed, cut and dried my chicken, and then I'm adding in some cumin, some turmeric, a little bit of that chili powder, and it's mild so the kids can't eat it. It doesn't actually taste really hot. Adding in some parsley, some smoked paprika, black pepper, some of that Veggie chicken seasoning. I'll add in some olive oil and 2 heaped tablespoons of yogurt, my ginger and garlic, and this tahine spice, which is so delicious on mango, on fruit. Oh my god, if you don't have that, buy it on Amazon. I bought mine on Amazon, so I'll link it below for you. And then I added in some lime juice because that's all I had at this moment in time. Mix it all up together and you are done, ready to grill those. You can just marinate it overnight if you want. I didn't have the time for that, so I just cooked it straight on a pan. You don't need any oil on the pan because the chicken pieces have oil in there from the olive oil. So just grill it on both sides and that's it. It's that easy. Once it's cooked on both sides and I've cooked all of the chicken pieces, I just put it on a parchment paper. I will slice them up, put them in a container once it's fully cooled down, of course, and you can have this on bread, baguettes, wraps, on anything, on rice. Just really handy to have, especially when you have children at home that are constantly complaining that they're hungry. So that's done. Next, we're going to make this delicious chicken that I've showed you guys a recipe of before. I will link it down below, but I'll show you guys again. And I got this recipe from a lovely lady I follow on Instagram. I will link her down below as well. But all I've done is wash up the chicken thighs, added in some soy sauce, some sesame oil, some honey, some brown sugar. And before you add anything onto this, make sure you wash it and dry it thoroughly. And then I'm adding in a lot of sriracha. I went to grab my gloves, totally forgot that I needed to add garlic, so don't forget to add garlic, guys, okay? Which I do end up adding afterwards, but at the moment I'm just mixing everything up together. I like to put gloves on so that my hands don't smell of garlic. So here we go, I'm adding the garlic in, and that's it. You just cover it with some parchment paper, put it in the oven, and you are done. Once it comes out, it looks like this, super soft, super moist, and I like to break it up like that and dip it in the sauce you can see there, and it just so delicious. You can have it with rice, with noodles, with a lot of things, but I just like to have it with rice. So that's that in a container, ready to eat. And next I'm going to show you a delicious salad you can eat all year round, and you can have it in a wrap, you can have it in a baguette, you can have it on a sandwich, but I just like to have it on its own. So healthy, so delicious, and so easy to make. And yes, I will use the barbecue machine even in winter time. So the first thing I do is add a bunch of garlic, grate that in, grate in the zest of a lemon. Since I'm using the lemon, I might as well use the zest up now. I just added in some turmeric, some coriander powder, well, some mixed herbs, and then some yogurt, and just mix it all up together. And not to forget your salt or Veggie. I like to use Veggie. It's just so tasty. I know it's not the best for you, but it's delicious. Okay, it's delicious. I love it. So I'm mixing all that up together, and then I'll add in some black pepper because I forgot to do that. Mix it up once more, and then I'm going to prepare my onions, my peppers, anything that you like to grill your chicken with. So I'm gonna just stack that up in one of these things. I can't remember what it's called. I'm not gonna Google it. So just do that, and then it's ready for you to grill or even cook on a pan if you want, or in the oven. I just like the charcoal flavor. It's very delicious. Once it's done, I chop up the chicken, let it cool down, add a mixed bag of salad, some red onions, some tomatoes, some croutons, avocado, and I like to add this Peri, the hot one. Is so nice, so nice. So try it if you've never tried a salad like this, full of flavor. And I also added in some cashews for that extra crunch and texture. So delicious. In the meantime, I'm just frying up some leftover samosas. That's the last of the Ramadan bulk samosa prep that we did. I'll link that video down below. I know it's such a long time ago, but yeah, we're still eating that. Next, we're gonna make my favorite stir fry that I make every single week without fail. So you're gonna get a lot of onions, maybe 2-3, because they will shrink in size and there'll be like a tiny bit of onions left by the time it's all caramelized. If you don't cook with onions, we can't be friends, no. Once the onions look like that and they're really soft, add in your vegetables. Add in whatever you like. I've added in cabbage, mixed peppers, and I usually add sweet corn and mushrooms. I forgot to add mushrooms here, but I'll add it later on. So I'm going to mix the vegetables in with the onions. I'm going to let that cook a tiny bit before adding in my soy sauce. You can see I've added in mushrooms there. I've added in some hoisin sauce. Then add in some lime juice, just a tiny bit. And I'm gonna add in my noodles. I like to use the B&M noodles. I'm gonna show you guys a packet of it on the screen because I can't believe I didn't show you guys. But anyway, I'm using the oil and the spice that comes in the noodle packet. It's delicious, as well as a tiny bit of the liquid that I cooked the pasta or the noodles in, just to have that, give the noodles a bit of a saucy type of, you know, finish and taste. So that's it. That's the end product. It's delicious. I hope you guys try and enjoy it. But that happens to be the end of today's bulk cook with me. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I'm so glad I'm back to filming these again. Give me a thumbs up if you'd like to see more, and I'll catch you in my next one. Bye.